corruption, misinformation, and lies of big tobacco. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing with guns. The gun industry. Let's hold the gun industry to the same standard as we held the tobacco industry. We must answer, why are people so attracted to guns? Why do we buy the lies of the gun lobby that a gun equals safety when the opposite has been proven time and time again to be true? Why is it easier for an 18-year-old to buy a beer or rent a car or buy a gun than it is to vote? The common argument for for not taking these basic steps is that criminals don't obey laws. No duh. Criminals don't obey laws by definition. But look, I will admit this to you. No law is perfect. But the shooter at my high school was not a criminal mastermind. He was a 19-year-old racist who legally obtained an AR-15. He did not have deep connections to the black market. The 18-year-old in Texas, the 18-year-old in Buffalo, they were not criminal masterminds with deep connections to the black market. They were barely adults that were able to legally obtain a weapon of mass destruction, and they waited until they were old enough to buy that gun. Let's raise the age. Let's raise the age right now. Let's raise the age. Even if we just prevent one more shooting, it's worth it because those victims could be your best friend or kid that you just named. The time for these petty arguments is up. Over the years, I have encountered my fair share of people who disagree with me. Some of them went so far as to deny me my own lived reality as a school shooting survivor and called me a crisis actor. But the reason why I know that this time is different is because I've gotten more messages than ever before from those same people that said, David, I'm sorry, we have to do something about this. We are working together to address this. As a country, we must heal and address why these shootings continue. We also must address the fact that mental health does have a role to play in stopping gun violence, but that racism is not a mental illness. Hatred, racism, radicalization, xenophobia are not mental illnesses. 2/3 of gun deaths are suicides. Mental health does have a role to play in addressing that. We need to address the fact that black and brown communities are traumatized daily by gun violence, and they don't get the same resources or support that Parkland did. Every community deserves the support that Parkland got. Every community. Every single community. That is the role that mental health plays here. Let's stop using mental health as a scapegoat for confronting white supremacy in our country. Let's remember that the argument of just funding more mental health has been tried constantly again and again, and we do need to fund mental health more while recognizing racism is not a mental illness. But let's also recognize, after Columbine, they said, you know what we need is more good guys with guns in our schools. Let's remember, let's think for a second. Teachers feel the same way. Thank you to NEA and AFT for being here. I'll talk about you in a minute. We love you.